EverAfter by galofuf is a geometry-platformer level about an hour in length. It contains 3 coins, one for 250 gold coins, another for 10 blue coins, and the third being an entirely separate adventure, through multiple levels, documents, and puzzles. Let's walk through the entire hunt for the third coin, perhaps one of the most complex user coins in all of geometry. The first clue to starting the hunt is located in World 4, Solstice. If you've already completed the level, you would have talked to Wurfi, who says that they received a weird message. Using a Caesar cipher shifted 13 letters, we get the message, "View editor, don't get distracted." Afterwards, try 3AEPJEQ. Okay, let's take a look at the editor. If you end up getting distracted by the comically large distraction, you'll find a message in Morse code, which translates to the following message: you've either found this by chance, or are looking for a coin. If there's anything you need, the trailer and Might Witter are your next best bets. Good luck on your hunt. Galofuf's Twitter has references to a bunch of symbols, all of which are made of squares on a 4x4 grid. The trailer hints at a 6th world, and flashes a bunch of images on screen. Wait, rewind a little. There are 36 characters here, a set of 26, and a set of 10. These are all unique symbols, so it would be a good prediction to say that this is an alphanumeric key. I don't think it's a coincidence that a bunch of these symbols are similar to letters either. There's also a frame of 10 letters, and using the key gets us the word rectangles. Notice how there's a weird border in some squares around the frame. We'll need to use this later. Going back to Twitter, we can use the key to decode this message up here in this corner. This one reads check and ever, and going to the editor reveals a message waiting for us right at the beginning of the level. This new message reads, overlay rectangles frame on showcase thumbnail. And doing that highlights specific characters on the thumbnail. Decoding these ones in order gets us 2 words, check ever luscious. Opening the editor in this level reveals a QR code, split into 4 pieces and warped a little bit. I've recreated the code, and scanning it opens up a document. It tells us about 3 numbers on top of the machine in question being the Voyager. However, these numbers aren't enough, we need to pair it with something. Remember how Wurfi's message told us to try another code? Well, that's a bit.ly link, which gets us a folder containing 5 documents. Looking at the sheet of paper, it tells us to find 2 answers using the other documents. The operator's guide tells us about a bug that makes the Voyager status balling instead of baller and that spawns 3 sparks on World 2. We'll need this for later, since finding these sparks can get us a collectible that's needed to get the coin. Moving on to the puzzles themselves, let's try the cross-dimensional machine first. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Let's break it down one by one. This is a picture of the Voyager, so we can fill in the blank. 4 represents the letter Y. This is the background of Moonlit Shoals, so 1 represents the letter T. All of these are pretty simple, and once you fill all of these blanks, you get 7 numbers that mean 7 letters. Replacing the numbers gets us tiny URL, which is what will lead us to the next clue. Let's take a look at the next puzzle, here between the worlds. There's 9 frames, all of which depict a different part of the level. Background music plays during all 9 parts. The puzzle highlights the word initially, and looking at the initial letter of each track reveals the code shiny coin. This opens up a whole new document. I recommend checking it out yourself if you want some really cool lore details and story explanation. There's another puzzle here, a massive list of numbers and some bolded letters, A to Z. Converting these numbers to letters based on position in the alphabet gets us 7 riddles. All of these riddles have an answer that can be simplified to a letter, and converting this back to a number using the letter position code gets us a level ID. Oh, and don't forget about this paper piece, and especially don't forget this entry of the operator's guide. We'll take a look at it later. Playing the level Beyond the Worlds drops us next to Regex, who has an encoded message to share with us. Using an @bash cipher, we can decode the message. Hey, player. It's pretty cool how you made it this far into the hunt, TBH. But do be aware that you'll need to find a code later on. A 5-digit code. Convert the letters of my name into numbers using the same cipher you used to get the ID to this level. Multiply all the numbers together, then add all of them again to the final number. Key in this number into the code. Good luck, player. Regex converts to the numbers 18, 5, 7, 5, 24. Multiplying these together equals 75,600, and adding them equals 59. Adding these two numbers gets us the code 75,659, which can be inputted to get us a QR code after completing a challenge about 8 or 9 stars in difficulty. Okay, here comes the most difficult portion of the hunt. There are 8 puzzles on this website, plus a final puzzle that combines all the puzzle solutions together. Puzzle 1, Mansion Madness, shows us 5 paths on the same map. The clues at the beginning point us to the level Castlemania by Serpunge, which has multiple routes and bosses to defeat. Every path has a name: Standard, Exterior, Library, Reaper, and Deep. The bosses, based on the emojis, are all Scus, Altus, Death, and Carta. There's 12 numbers, all of which represent a letter, and putting them in order spells out the word supernatural, which is the solution for our first puzzle. Puzzle 2, Object Info, uses the object IDs in the GD editor. A spreadsheet contains an ID and a rotation for each cell, and using colons object IDs level, we can arrange the objects to form the code unused stuff, the solution to the second puzzle. Puzzle 3, Hello everyone, this is your feeder puzzle. Uses V12's Daily Dose of Geometry YouTube channel by showing us a recreation of a thumbnail alongside a word and number. The word is the subject of the clip in the video, and the number is the index of the person who submitted it. For example, this first one, Sans 8, is a clip in the video. This checkpoint gimmick is evil. Finding the Sans clip shows us the user who submitted it, the 8th letter being E. Doing this for all 7 thumbnails gets us EVW full, or Eric Van Wilderman, the solution to the third puzzle. Puzzle 4, A Bite of Trivia, gives us 10 questions with 5 answers each. Many of the questions have multiple correct answers. Here's the solutions of all 10 questions, and now let's convert these to 5-bit strings. All of these can be further converted to numbers, which can then be converted to letters. This creates outer space, the solution to the fourth puzzle. Puzzle 5, Unworthy Maps, uses the legacy list of the challenge list. There are 9 levels, and replacing the bolded text in each level with challenge forms the names of different levels. Looking up the creator of these levels, we can fill in the blanks and gather the letters in parentheses. Putting it all together forms Parabala, the solution to the 5th puzzle. Puzzle 6, Just Remember, is a reference to the level A Bizarre Phantasm, a memory level with a 21 key sequence at the end. There's 21 columns of letters here as well. We can use the key pattern in the level to pick out the right letters. This spells out raised area of level land, and searching for a synonym gets us plateau, the solution to the 6th puzzle. Hang in there, we're almost done. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. Puzzle 7, Overused Names, gives us a screenshot of a level, the level's name, and an attempt number. We'll need to find the creator of the level shown in the screenshot, and use the attempt number as an index. For example, this level is named Sunset, but there's a whole bunch of levels that are also named Sunset. We need to find the right one by comparing it to the screenshot. To save time, here's all the creators, and all of the letters put together spell out Lucid Dream, the solution to the 7th puzzle. Okay, last one. Puzzle 8, Not a Math Game, is pretty much a math game. We need to take the ID to and ever, then subtract or add it to the rows of 8-digit numbers, each result being the ID to another level. For example, and ever's ID subtracted by the first row gets us the ID for Zoro's 1 space. If we keep doing this, we'll get a list of 8 levels. Hey, wait a second, all these levels are 8 letters long. We can put this back into the grid, and take the green letters to form the word Overture, the solution to the 8th puzzle. Okay, that was a lot. But we're not quite done yet, we still have the meta puzzle, combining all 8 solutions together. This riddle has 4 bolded words, and using pronunciation translation gets us a dot, U dash. We need to replace the letter A in each answer with a dot, and every U with a dash. This gets us some Morse code, which translates to coin hunt. Putting this in the URL, we get another piece of paper and a new document. These paragraphs with strange wording are actually our next clue. The first letter of each sentence spells out the numbers 28548. There's also the final entry of the operator's guide, telling us about a few more sparks. Putting the code into the 5-digit input located in Beyond the Worlds gets us a new challenge. We're supposed to pay attention to our trail, and looking closely at each room, there's letters spelled out in the path we took. It roughly looks like World 6, and putting this in tiny URL gets us another document. This is the last piece to the paper, and we can put it all together. We need to travel to Moonlit Shoals, then Ether's Edge, the Never Realm. Notice how it's World 2, 5, and 1, the exact same sequence on the machine. We'll then have to fly to World 3, climb the tower, jump off the right, and land on a specific platform. Then we need to find 4 statues, which will spawn a lever near the tower. It will trigger something in the void, and that's how we'll get to World 6. Now that we have all the clues we need, let's get the coin. First, keep exiting and entering the level until the Voyager's status is balling and not baller. Make sure the correct status is there before doing anything else. Once you get the balling status, write down the time on the clock. You'll need this for later. Then, head to World 2. Remember the operator's guide entries from before? All 3 entries are about locating sparks in 3 different worlds, so now we need to find those sparks. The first spark in World 2 is near where the blue key is. The second spark is up the ladder on the structure directly left of the Voyager. The third spark is further left, in this corner next to a ladder. Reminder that you still need to get the gem for this world, so find the pink puzzle pieces while you're here. If you've gotten all 3 sparks, you'll be able to climb this ladder at the top left platform of the wheel. Click the lever, and keep collecting the pieces for the gem. Once you've unlocked the chest, head back to the Voyager. Make sure to claim your fish on the chair before doing anything else. We'll need to head to World 5 next. Complete this world as normal, all the way up to the gem. Pick it up, but don't head to the Voyager just yet. Cross the bridge, back to where you collected the 5 red gears. There's 3 sparks as well, 1 up here, 1 below, and 1 up the stairs near the sign. Now you can head back, and don't forget to claim your fish on the left of the Voyager. Okay, now we need to visit World 1. Fly there, and find 3 more sparks on the way to the gem. The first one is on the first green platform, right here on this edge. The second one is on the lamp to the left of Champy. The third one is near the first pushable block. Push the block on the left edge of the platform. Make sure not to slide it too far, and jump up here on the side of this ledge. Then, complete the world normally. The fish will be right next to the key. Okay, congratulations. You've done the first step, and now we need to head to World 3, as the paper tells us to. Complete the level normally, up until the gem. Do not collect the blue coin on this tower. You can't climb back up to the top, meaning you won't be able to do the next part, and it will likely autosave, which will ruin your run. Just jump off the right side of the tower, trying not to land on the spikes. If you mess up, then you can just restart since the gem is a checkpoint. If you've done everything right so far, you'll see an insane demon face. Next, go to every statue and collect their gems. There's 2 on each side. Once you've done that, go back to the tower, and on the right there should be a new switch. Click it, and the entire world will become distorted. The void on the right of the Voyager should start glowing, and that's your cue to jump in. This is it. You've traveled to World 6, and now we need to complete 7 different puzzles. Fortunately for you, these are a lot easier than the website's 8 puzzles. There's a final document near the number squares, which has a bunch of drawings giving you the solution to each puzzle. Let's do them in order of appearance in the document. Puzzle 1, Semaphore. tells you to find the visual symbol of the letter Q. A semaphore is a visual system that relays info by holding two flags in different positions, so we need to adjust the two hands of this clock to form the letter Q. Note that you don't get confirmation if you are correct until all 7 puzzles are complete. Puzzle 2, Hello, requires you to spell out hello on the 5-digit screen. Adjust the numbers to form 07734. Puzzle 3, Rating, lets you spin to get a rating. The 3 levels on the clue are all mythic rating, so you'll need to keep spinning until 2 of the faces are mythic. It doesn't matter what difficulty, just keep spinning until you get mythic. Puzzle 4, Morse, needs you to put in some Morse code, obviously. The clue shows the number 7, which is represented by 2 dashes and 3 dots. Tap the button to input a dot, and hold it to input a dash. Puzzle 5, Squares, is a memory game. Each square has a corresponding button. When the square flashes, hit the right button. Keep going until your score is 5 or greater, then move on to the next puzzle. Puzzle 6, Stars, requires you to find some stars, 6 to be exact. Just click whenever you're standing on a star to pick it up. Note that there's more than 6 stars in the map, so make sure you get exactly 6. Puzzle 7, Shapes, is a miniature puzzle. Notice how on the clue, each row must have 3 different outer shapes, and 3 different inner shapes. Use this to figure out the last one. An outer triangle and inner square is missing. Use the buttons on the screen to change it. If you've done all 7 puzzles correctly, you'll hear this sound effect. Once you've heard it, you can use the dash orb to return to World 3. Only leave if you're sure you've heard it. Head back to the Voyager, and go to World 4 to get the last gem. Make sure you've noted the time on the clock before leaving the Voyager. Complete the world as normal, but keep an eye out for 3 small green gems. They're pretty difficult to miss, but if you miss one then just loop back around later. Once you've gotten the gem, remember to get the fish before entering the Voyager, or else you'll cancel the run. Once you've gotten the 4th and final fish, enter the Voyager and watch the ending cutscene. Now it's time to get your coins. A full 100% run isn't possible with the 3rd coin, since you're forced to miss a blue coin in World 3, but you only need 10 for the 2nd coin, anyways. Head over to the ARG coin pedestal, and a cutscene should play, fading to black. Input the time from the Voyager. Make sure it's correct before submitting it. And there's the 3rd coin. Thank you to galofuf and the EverAfter Hunt team for making this puzzle possible. I had such a great time solving the puzzles, and hopefully you enjoyed them too. And thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if this walkthrough helped you out. See you soon.